So it is 3 a.m. and I am sitting here staring at my screen with my 4th cup of coffee, just trying to make sense of what is happening in Port Charles right now. And honestly, my brain is just fried. But I have a deadline and you guys need the scoop, so here I am typing furiously on my keyboard while my cat judges me from the corner of the room. General Hospital is just throwing everything at the wall right now and seeing what sticks. And right now, what is sticking is this whole messy situation with Jacinda Bracken and Michael Corinthos, because of course Michael has to be right in the middle of some intense emotional drama with a woman who has a dark and troubled past. It is just the Corinthos way. So let's just dive right into this massive info dump, because there is so much to unpack here, and I am just going to let it all out without worrying about making it sound pretty. And we really need to talk about that March 16 episode, because wow, that was a heavy one. Jacinda finally opened up to Michael and spilled her guts about her history, and it was a lot to process. I mean, we all knew she had some secrets hiding behind those eyes, but this was deep. She told Michael about this guy she dated back when she was in high school. And get this, the guy was 10 years older than her. Yeah, 10 years. And sure, she made a point to say she was of legal age at the time. But come on, we all know how that works. A high school girl and a guy in his late 20s, that is just a recipe for disaster. It is a massive power imbalance. And Jacinda knows that now. She looks back and realizes how completely inappropriate the whole relationship was. But when you are that young, you just don't see it. You think you are mature and grown up and in love, and you ignore all the massive red flags waving right in your face. But it gets worse, because her parents did not handle this well at all. Instead of trying to protect their daughter or get her away from this creep, they just completely cut her off. They cut her out of their lives entirely. Just threw her to the wolves. And honestly, that makes me so mad. What kind of parents do that to a teenager who is clearly being manipulated by an older man? So Jacinda was left with nothing. No family. No support system. No safety net. And what did she do? She moved in with the boyfriend. Because of course she did. Where else was she supposed to go? She was a kid who was forced to grow up way too fast, and she had to figure out how to survive in a world that had just completely turned its back on her. So she is living with this guy. And surprise, surprise, she is having a really hard time making money. Because she is basically a kid with no real job experience and no family to help her out. And the boyfriend clearly wasn't taking care of her the way he should have been. So she had to make some really tough choices. Desperate choices. And she ultimately became an escort. Yeah. That is the big dark secret. She became an escort just to survive. And you could just see the pain and the regret all over her face when she was telling Michael this. She wishes so badly that she could go back in time and shake her younger self. She wishes she could teach that young naive girl some of the brutal tough lessons she has had to learn the hard way. It is just heartbreaking. It really is. And Michael. Oh man. Michael Corinthos. He was just sitting there taking it all in. And, Michael, he has this massive savior complex. He loves a damsel in distress. He just can't help himself. He guessed right away that this former boyfriend wasn't such a great guy, which is the understatement of the century. But Michael is already getting that protective look in his eyes. You can see the gears turning in his head. He is already thinking about how he can fix this for her, how he can protect her, because that is what Michael does. He swoops in and tries to save the day. And the spoilers are already hinting that Michael is going to end up defending himself or someone else very soon. And it is pretty obvious that the someone else is going to be Jacinda. So now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Because you know how soap operas work. You don't just drop a massive backstory bomb about an evil ex-boyfriend and then never show the guy. That is soap opera rule number 1. If a character talks about a mysterious ex from their past, that ex is definitely going to show up in town and cause absolute chaos. It is only a matter of time until this guy is on screen. So, the big question is, who is it? Is Jacinda's mystery man someone we already know? Is it a familiar face who is going to land back in her orbit and just completely shake things up for her and for Michael? And this is where the internet is just losing its collective mind. The speculation on social media is out of control right now, and the biggest rumor going around is that Ethan Lovett might be Jacinda's ex. Yeah, Ethan Lovett, Luke Spencer's kid, the charming rogue, the con artist, because we know Ethan is headed back to the ABC soap. He is making a return, and the timing just seems a little too perfect. But I have to be honest with you guys, I am really struggling with this theory. I mean, I get it. Ethan has a history of making bad choices. He runs cons. He has made a ton of mistakes. But he has never really been a villain. He has never been a predator. And that is what this guy sounds like. A guy who takes advantage of a high school girl and lets her become an escort to pay the bills. That does not sound like Ethan Lovett to me. But then again, this is General Hospital. And the writers absolutely love to rewrite history when it suits their current plot. They will take a character you know and love and just completely trash them for the sake of drama. It happens all the time. So maybe they are doing a massive retcon on Ethan's past. Maybe they are going to age up or age down some characters to make the timeline fit. Because that is another issue. The ages have to line up. If Jacinda was in high school and the guy was 10 years older, we have to do some serious soap opera math to figure out if Ethan even fits that timeline. But soap math is basically just magic anyway. So they could make it work if they really wanted to. I just really hope they don't. Because turning Ethan into this kind of scumbag would just be a massive character assassination. But what if it isn't Ethan? What if the writers are actually being smart about this and bringing in someone completely different? It is entirely possible that Jacinda's ex could be a completely new character to the canvas. A fresh face. A brand new villain for us to hate. And honestly, I think that would be the better way to go. Bring in some creepy, dangerous guy from her past who tracks her down in Port Charles. Someone who wants to drag her back into that dark world she worked so hard to escape. That paves the way for a really intense stalker storyline. And it gives Michael a clear bad guy to fight. Michael can put on his shining armor and go to war with this new villain to protect Jacinda. It is classic soap opera gold. And let's not forget how all of this might tie into the other massive storylines going on right now. Because nothing in Port Charles happens in a vacuum. Everything is connected. And there have been some serious hints that Jacinda's past might be connected to the whole Delilah mystery. Remember Delilah, the mysterious woman with the baby, the one who had a list of Chelsea and Soho art galleries in her luggage, and Ava Jerome runs an art gallery. So maybe Jacinda's time as an escort in the city connects her to Delilah. Maybe they knew each other. Maybe they ran in the same dangerous circles. Maybe this ex-boyfriend was involved in whatever shady business Delilah was running from. The possibilities are just endless right now. And I am just sitting here typing and thinking about how much trouble Jacinda is in. Because you can't just leave a past like that behind. It always catches up to you. And now she is getting close to Michael. And getting close to a Corinthos is basically painting a giant target on your back. The ex-boyfriend is going to see her with Michael and he is going to want to assert his control again. He is going to want to prove that he still owns her. And that is going to get ugly. Because Michael is not going to back down. He is going to fight dirty if he has to. He has the Corinthos mob connections if things get really desperate. Though he usually tries to play the good guy corporate CEO these days. But push him hard enough and that sunny Corinthos DNA is going to show up. So we are looking at a massive collision course here. Jacinda is trying to build a new life. Michael is trying to be a good guy and support her. But this dark shadow from her past is looming over everything. And whether it turns out to be Ethan Lovett with a ruined character arc or a brand new psycho stalker, it is going to bring so much drama to our screens. And I am here for it. Even if I am exhausted. Even if I am running on fumes and caffeine. This is the kind of messy human drama that keeps us all watching. The regrets. The mistakes. The desperate choices people make to survive. Jacinda is a flawed character, but she is a survivor. And I think fans are really gonna root for her once they understand what she has been through. Look, I know I am rambling. My fingers are cramping up, and I am pretty sure I have misspelled half the words in this post, but I don't even care right now. I just needed to get all these thoughts out of my head and onto the page. The whole escort reveal was just such a punch to the gut. It makes you look at every single interaction she has had so far in a completely different light. The way she holds herself, the way she looks at people, it is all a defense mechanism. She has been used and thrown away by the people who were supposed to love her. First her parents, then the boyfriend, and now she is terrified to trust anyone. But she is trusting Michael. She took a massive leap of faith by telling him the truth, and now it is all in his hands. And Michael better not mess this up. He has a history of making things worse when he tries to help. He needs to just listen to her and support her and not go off half-cocked trying to be a vigilante. But who am I kidding? This is Michael. He's definitely going to do something stupid and reckless to protect her. And it is probably going to put them both in even more danger, because that is just how things work in this town. You try to fix a problem, and you end up blowing up a building or starting a mob war. It is inevitable. So stay tuned, guys. Keep your eyes peeled, because General Hospital spoilers are making it very clear that Jacinda's past is coming back to haunt her. And it is going to haunt her in more ways than one. The troubling news is just starting. The storm is brewing, and when this ex-boyfriend finally steps foot in Port Charles, all hell is going to break loose. And I will be right here, probably at 3 a.m. again, drinking more coffee, typing more clunky sentences, and breaking it all down for you, because the drama never sleeps, and neither do I apparently. Just keep watching. It is going to be a wild ride.